right, good morning everyone. Welcome to the Duluth Mill, and certainly thank you for everyone coming today. The turnout is obviously bigger than we expected, standing room only, right? That's a good thing. So we're extremely excited to have all you folks here today. By way of introduction, I'm Gary Wargen. I'm the site operations manager at the Duluth Mill. I'd like to acknowledge a few of our key guests here today. Mayor Roger Reiner is in with us today. Thank you for coming. Commissioner Matt Verlick from Department of Economic Development. Governor Tim Walz. And last but not least, Luigi Lazareski. I'd like to start by saying a thank you to the greater audience. I can look around this room and I see people everywhere that are either been a part of this project to this point and helped us get here, or people that are going to be helping us greatly in the future. Very glad to see the folks from the building trades here showing up, and everyone from the state of Minnesota, the city of Duluth, right on down the line, St. Louis County. They've all been key in getting this off the ground. I'd like to also thank some key Sofidel members that have contributed greatly to this restart of this mill. And one would be Simone Giacomelli. Where's Simone at? All right. Simone Capuano. And all the other folks that have worked hard to get this project to this point within Sofidel and within this mill as well. So the partnership that all of you have helped us create here and get to this incredible journey. Thank you, Matt. I'm one of these guys that walks around a lot when I talk, and being right stuck behind the podium, it's just, I flail my arms around. You'd think I'm Italian, I guess. The partnership that everyone here has created an incredible opportunity for our community, the state of Minnesota. Watching this all come together is a dream come true for a lot of folks in this room, and I can tell you most assuredly a lot of folks that are working out there in this plant currently. I'm going to venture off script for just a minute. I might get in a little bit of trouble with this, but I'm going to tell a little story. My journey started here 38 years ago at the Duluth Mill. I've witnessed about 750 people come and go out of this mill and fill out a career the entire time. These are the types of jobs that are family sustaining. More than that, they're family thriving types of work that you can enjoy in a place like this. It takes people with vision like Sofidel to come in and create that. Lastly, this is the kind of place where certainly you develop a lot of personal bonds with the companies that have come through here, but most importantly all the co-workers, and those bonds last a lifetime. A feeling of pride, place, camaraderie are all the tenets of what makes this place go. It's been a wonderful place to work for everyone that's here. A couple of quick stats. We've got 4 people that are the same tenure as me, so we all started before the original building started up in 1987. Been through quite a journey through all that. But this rebirth is unlike any of them that we've experienced. Regrettably, the last grade of paper that we made before we shut down in 2020 was a grade of paper that was on its way out. It was based on advertising. Nowadays, everyone's advertising comes from here, right? Or on your computer. Those grades went away in spite of an excellent culture of work here at the mill. The grades we're in now are not going away, and Mr. Lazareski will certainly point that out. Today, we're on the cusp of having hundreds of more people joining this blessing of being able to work and prosper in a mill like this. And now a couple of quick announcements. We're going to invite some speakers up here to talk to the group. We're going to take a quick plant tour, go out to the groundbreaking site, and then everyone's invited to come back and assemble up here. And we're going to have a great lunch for everyone and do a little celebration at that point. So again, thank you. So first off, please join me in welcoming Mayor Roger Reinert up to the podium.
Okay. Do I need to, or can I just?
It's up to you, but
okay. I think I'll go without. So, and I have to note the governor correctly brought his comments on paper, and mine are digital. So, but we'll talk about why that matters, right? So, to all of our guests and friends and visitors, especially those who may have traveled from overseas and are 7 hours jet lagged. We're so thrilled to have you here in Duluth. I do have to note before I begin that we so appreciate you sending, where did Simone go? At the start of this project, because he is the sharpest dressed man in Duluth. Every time I see him, he has the best suit, so I need advice. That is not my forte. So, absolutely thrilled to be with everyone here today to see just such an amazing crowd. I think someone said before we started, no one said no to this invitation this morning. Have just a wide diversity of people here, representative of our community, many facets of our community. And we are all here to celebrate this significant expansion by Sofidel of the paper plant in West Duluth, as well as a significant investment within our community. And I do want to acknowledge that today would not be possible without really strong partnerships. And so we think about the partnership with the Sofidel organization. We think about the partnership with our City of Duluth staff, and we think about the partnership with our state of Minnesota partners. And I do want to take a moment just as mayor to thank our city planning and economic development team, many of whom are here this morning. You know, that is a small but mighty group within the City of Duluth organization. They are in charge of permitting. They are in charge of planning. They are in charge of economic development. So Ben Van Tassel and Tricia Hobbs, who I know are both here this morning, absolutely very well done. Here is a couple of leaders who accepted a challenge. Ben accepted a challenge to actually take a little bit of a step back and be at more of a strategic level and think about how these different functions work together so that we can deliver on my promise to our partners of being a good partner. You know, the city's primary role is not to be a deal maker. Our primary role is when the deal makers come to us to have a process that is reasonable in outcome, reasonable in timeline, reasonable in cost. And Ben is doing such a good job of that. And then to let his next level of leaders lead. And with Tricia's leadership with economic development, and now also as the executive director of DITA, we are really seeing how that kind of a team functions and functions well. And to the Lazareski family and their team, our state of Minnesota partners, including Matt and Governor Walz, we are so grateful. The investment by the state and especially DEED in this project helped really bring it together and close all and tie all of the pieces together. And it is exactly the kind of cross-sector, multi-governmental partnership that you need to really make big things like this come to fruition. But I also want to just take a moment and acknowledge today is significant not just because of the dollars, though they are big. They are is significant not just because of the jobs, though they are also big. It is significant for the community of Duluth because of what it represents in terms of our continued growth, our continued economic vitality, our commitment to something that has always been a part of Duluth and Duluth culture, making things. And especially, Councilor Kennedy, In your district, the 5th district, the western part of the community, this is why these neighborhoods came to be, and this is why these neighborhoods continue to exist. And as we think about where Duluth is positioned now and where we will continue to thrive and grow, it is so rewarding to see what we call, Governor, the west of the freeway, the far west part of our community, be our growth corridor. And it is our growth corridor because of a couple really significant things, and both of which are represented in what we're celebrating here today. One is space, the opportunity to actually do really significant developments. You know, my friends who are Duluthians, we need to acknowledge something that we need to stop telling ourselves, and that is that we just have opportunities everywhere. We actually are limited on where we can continue to develop. That is our most pressing challenge right now. Where can we do more housing development? Where can we do more economic, commercial development? The other thing that this far west corridor represents that is significant in Duluth's economic future is multimodal transportation. What Sofidel is doing here represents something so key to Duluth, the intersection of water, rail, airport, and road. Governor, not every community in Minnesota has all those things in one place, and we have them here in almost immediate proximity to each other. So as we think about something that COVID taught us, logistics matter, transportation matters, on-time delivery matters. The Sofidel investment really is highlighting that here in Duluth, in a community that has that manufacturing history. And then I'll also and I think I heard we might actually get a chance to see this ad. When I had a chance to meet with the Sofidel leadership team, we were in the mayor's reception room. Governor, not quite as fancy as yours, but I'm honored to have one. And we were chatting, and then there was some side conversation, and then a phone slid across the table, and I watched, I think, a 30-second ad that it runs in Europe for Sofidel, and it was a couple talking to each other. And I think we're going to see this, so forgive me if I've now told this story so many times I've screwed up all of the details. But, they're going through life's daily things, and it's, make a note about this. Well, you could just text me. Like, write this on the refrigerator. Well, you could just send me an email. And then someone's in the bathroom, and there's no toilet paper. And you hear the honey, and then under the bathroom door comes a photo of toilet paper. There are products that we cannot digitize. And so I will just conclude by saying what is so incredibly exciting to me about this project is, as we've seen the fortunes of this plant come and go over decades, making finished consumer products on site, storing them on site, and shipping them throughout the region secures this facility for decades to come. So on behalf of Duluth, thank you so much, Luigi, and to the Sofidel team for choosing Duluth to be an anchor of what you're doing in this part of the North American economy.
Yay.
Next, can we have Commissioner come up? Thank you,
Thanks,
Matt.
Gary. Well, good morning, everyone. Great to be with you. Thank you, Mayor, for the great comments and also for your leadership of this beautiful city that we are in today. Luigi and your team, thank you so much for being the occasion that we are here to celebrate. Governor, thank you for being here and bringing an extra spotlight to this wonderful occasion. And then to the partners as well who have made this happen that we get to work with on so many things at our department. Our chamber from Duluth here, Matt Baumgartner. Sorry, I'll move in closer. Rachel from Apex, and I know others of her team are here as well. So really grateful to everyone who has helped to make this day possible. And Gary gave me a wonderful tour of this facility back in late 2023, back when it was ST Paper. And I'll tell you, at that time, it was already a really inspiring story because, as many of you here in this room know, the plant was idled in 2020. And through a partnership of the city, the company itself, the state, and others, we were able to get it back and operating again and providing that employment for Gary and many of you here and others. And so I already loved this project and had wonderful, fond memories of it. And so as a guy who was paid to pay very close attention to the Minnesota economy, you can imagine I was thrilled when I learned that this company wanted to put $200 million into this community and triple the size of the workforce. So that is a lot to be excited about. And at our
Just to start.
just to start. Well, how about that? It's like those commercials, what you were just talking about a commercial, but it's like the commercials where they say, and wait, there's more. So at Deed, we are really honored to be a part of what's happening here. We were a part of ST Paper and now have put $5 million into the project through the incentives that we have available. And when I say we, really I'm talking not about me, I just get to stand up here and talk about it, but some of the folks from our team are the ones who actually do the work. Kevin McKinnon, Catalina Valencia, Lawrence Rezitar, Brad Brzezinski are all here, and so how about a round of applause for them? And then, Mayor, to your point about the importance of these products, I will say I'm married. I got 3 adorable but rather messy children, 2 dogs and 3 cats at my house, and we go through a lot of towels and paper towels and so forth in the kitchen. So we're big fans of your products. We should acknowledge that this is a moment of some economic uncertainty as we look to the future, and you can just read the news to see what that's all about. But the good news is that Minnesota is entering into this moment with a head of steam. We have built up some great momentum over the last couple of years, thanks to the governor getting us some tools, for one thing, at our department so that we can help more of these business expansions take place. We keep track of the big expansions in the state, and in 2023, there was something like $6 billion worth of expansions, which was a pretty good number. And then the numbers for 2024 aren't official yet, but we think that's going to come in more like $7 billion. So it's nice to see that uptick as we enter this moment of uncertainty. And so we've been able to celebrate great projects like this, which is going to keep it going. Yesterday, we were with the governor in Plymouth talking about an investment by a Dutch company, Philips, that's putting $31 million into that community for medical technology. You've heard us celebrate Polar Semiconductor doing a $500 million investment to address our chip shortage. We've talked about Solventum, which is the healthcare spinoff of 3M, putting $200 million into Egan. So we've got a lot of great things to celebrate in the state of Minnesota, even as we, face the uncertainty that is in the future. Last thing I want to say is it's probably worth noting at this particular moment in time that many of the great projects that we've been able to celebrate are a product of foreign direct investment. That is investment from companies that are headquartered elsewhere. And so we are so honored to have Italian investment here. And yesterday it was Dutch. And there are other examples we can talk about. It's probably worth just underscoring that in this state and under this governor, we celebrate our international partners and partnerships, and we are very grateful for those investments because they make Minnesota communities more prosperous and give Minnesota folks more opportunities for the kinds of careers that they want. Family sustainability. And when I say celebrate, I mean really celebrate. Like every year we have something called the Governor's International Trade Awards ceremony. And do you know who happened to win the award for Best Foreign Direct Investment? It was Sofidel. And by coincidence, we have the guy who puts the governor in Governor's International Trade Awards. Please help me welcome our leader, Governor Tim Walz.
Thank you. Stand close.
Do you want to in-house speak?
I'll try and stand close.
No worries.
That works.
Yep.
Buongiorno and good morning, everyone. We have quite a gathering, I have to tell you, and it does matter. Mayor Reinert, nobody works harder for this community than you. You articulate the vision. You're willing to tackle the tough projects, and you're willing to build coalitions that make a difference. We're grateful to have you here, and that goes with the city of Duluth. The council members are here. When the Chamber of Commerce comes to St. Paul with the Duluth Chamber of Commerce, it is a takeover, and it's big, and you bring the voice, and I think there's a reason for that. We're recently in the port of Rotterdam, which is the eastern terminus of the Atlantic trade, and Duluth is the western terminus, and we are connected. The opportunities, as the mayor said, for multimodal opportunities and how we reach the world are endless, and I am truly grateful to see it happen. I will say this, I think, as we're talking about the folks making, because Gary, you were after my heart. You've been here for so long, you've seen this through, you've stood, as I think folks in the North Country see themselves. This is a resilient city, and its ups and downs, and continues to fight and continues to make a difference. Someone who's been through that. And Also, when you said you were gonna go off script and might make people worried, we are kindred spirits. So, I appreciate that. But I think the partnership, as you see it, to make these things happen, the city working together with our nonprofits, with the chamber making the cases, with our investors that are coming here, and with the state. And I want to be clear, state of Minnesota, we're very pleased with these direct investments. I have to tell you, there's been somewhat of an attitude over the years, and I will admit to this, we're Minnesota, you should want to be here. And this sense of not being as proactive, of reaching out and saying, look, you could choose to be anywhere. You could make your investments elsewhere. You're choosing to be here. We need to make sure that the reason you're choosing here is we have a well-qualified workforce, we have infrastructure, and we have incentives. And something that I'm going to claim, we get to administer it, but you have someone here in the room who advocated hard for this. And the way our government works is I don't appropriate a single penny. That's the legislator. Representative Kozlowski has drugged me up here many times to walk through one of them. Many times. You know they're committed when we're walking through the sewage treatment plant, making sure that we're investing, but talking about this. And the legislature did something that we had not done in Minnesota. We transformed Explore Minnesota, which is really important up here. The idea of using our great natural resources, why people want to live there, but expanded that to Explore Minnesota Business. And they gave the Commissioner of Deed money to tell people if someone's going to invest, what do you need from us? What can we help with workforce development? What infrastructure do you need? And those are investments that the people all across Minnesota made, the $5 million. We will get our money back from Sofidel. We will get our money back from the taxes of the workforce. We will get our money back in the growth that happens to this community. So these smart investments of not just resting on our laurels. I don't think many people know this, but Minnesota has the 5th most diverse economy in the country. We're known for medical technology, which Phillips invested in. We're known for our agriculture, but we're one of the larger manufacturing states. And what happens is when you get an economic downturn, we have the protections of not literally having all of those expensive eggs in one basket, that we spread them out amongst communities. And so I'm just here today, first and foremost, to thank the folks at Sofidel and Luigi, you and your family and the investment group for believing in Minnesota and seeing us as partners, but also to thank the people of Duluth, the labor folks who are here. Duluth is a very unique community. It was really interesting. I was in Cleveland the other day, and the leadership, the mayor, the city manager and things we were talking about, I said, Cleveland reminds me a lot of Duluth, and they say the same thing. And they told me, we've got a little more industrial base in Cleveland, but Duluth is seeing how they're taking advantage of everything and spreading out and trying to look at different ways that they can attract. And I thought it was a really interesting thing, a lake city, a city that is known as an industrial city, a city that had their struggles, Cleveland up and down, but is now bouncing back, does kind of tell the story. And again, I would end with this. At a time when people are uncertain, or a time when people are unsure, to see communities come together collectively, to see public and private businesses work together to create and make something. I'm actually with you on that, Mayor. I think this idea that you're hearing it, bringing businesses back to the United States and manufacturing things is a noble goal and should be done. People that you're seeing here today actually made that happen. And again, it ends with folks who can choose to work here. I have a saying, I want Minnesota to be the best place to raise your family. Well, you can't do that unless you have a good job. You can't do that unless you can buy a house. You can't do that unless you have really good, safe communities and good schools for your kids. That's what Duluth offers, and I think that's where the growth goes. If you can get the opportunity to live in a community like this, you work here, you raise your family here, you recreate here. This is a world-class destination, and if folks can get these good jobs, that's what makes a difference. So congratulations to Duluth. Congratulations to all the partners who worked in this. Thanks for giving a little boost in the arm to the rest of the state for showing that this can be done. And it wouldn't have happened without the belief of, as Matt said, our direct foreign investment, and for a very well-known company that has now made Duluth part of their home. Please join me in welcoming Sofidel CEO, Luigi Lazzareschi.
Thanks everybody for being here. I think I'm closer to the mic, but my English is going to remain the same. But I'll try to do my best. I mean, thanks everybody for coming. Thanks to the state of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, but also they did, in particular the Kevin McKinnon and Matt Valerick. Sorry for my pronunciation of last names. I'm the mayor. We have been knowing each other since a little bit more than 1 year now. The year when we start investing we first initially invested in Duluth, February 2024. The mayor has already introduced probably the video that I'm going to show you, just a 40-second video. But that was an advertising campaign that we have used in this particular case in France. But I believe as an important message that I would like to show you. The volume is not here. I don't know, can I stop eventually?
Should be playing now.
Let me also thank
It
all
works so
the
well,
other.
you don't need the volume. The visuals are so good.
Let me also thank all the authorities, the union representatives that I know they are here, all suppliers, friends that they are giving us guidance and support. In terms of incentives, Mr. Walz, they are never enough. But thanks, for the support they are giving it and incentives that. Should I try?
Why it's not playing outside? What's going on here?
I swear this is not Italian technology.
I have no idea what's happening. I do.
It was working this morning.
Yeah, it was.
I told many people, don't touch it, don't touch it.
And suddenly it's done it.
It actually does highlight where technology sticks us.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But fortunately, however, the mayor gave us a very good.
If you don't show it, then my memory is perfect. So.
But you see, there are several kind of paper grades, as you may know: printing and writing, packaging, special paper, and let's say tissue. For tissue paper is what we mean product like toilet paper, kitchen towel, napkins, facial tissue. While, as you know, here in the past, this company have had experience with packaging paper and also printing and writing paper. Printing and writing paper, you know that through this digitalization, the market has shrunk significantly and is going to continue to shrink in the near future. While packaging is having strong difficulties on when there is a downward trend of the economic, upward trend, but usually companies are suffering of these high peaks, ups and downs. Specialty paper depends on which kind of specialty paper you are producing, but actually is a minor piece of the business. Tissue is there no matter in which economical cycle you are. We all use, I imagine, I hope, tissue paper, and it's no cyclical, there is no seasonality or almost no seasonality, and is still growing. In the US, the growth is in the range of 1.5–2% per year. So I always say to the local community, having a tissue operation on your region gives, let's say, a strong point. This company is not going to disappear in the next 20 to 30 to 40 years. So, I'm going to tell you a little bit about, for those that don't know Sofidel, who we are. The company was formed 60 years ago. Actually, next year is going to be our 60th anniversary by two founders, my father, Giuseppe Lazzareschi, and one of his friends, Stephanie Emi. Today, still the two families are controlling 100% the Sofidel group. Myself, I'm the CEO of the group since more or less my father died in 1993, so quite many years. Today, Sofidel has a little bit more than 9,000 people that they are working in Europe and in US. More than 3,000 people today are in the US, with a total capacity close to 2 million, actually there are more than 2 million imperial tons, 1.8 are metric ton. And with a total consolidated revenue last year that has been 3.2 billion euros, that probably today is 3.5 billion dollars. And actually, this is only consolidated 2 months of a company that we have acquired last year. The name of the company is Clearwater, that is a publicly traded company. So the turnover at the end of 2025 is going to be in the range of 4.5 billion dollars. I mean, a pretty large company. Today, we have operation in 10 U.S. states. You might have read that 2 days ago we have announced another investment. We are in the process of acquiring a company that is called Royal Paper that has 2 operations, one in Arizona and the other one in South Carolina. But as you see, since our product is very light and very bulky, transportation cost is a limit. So we have to serve our customers in a radius that is in the range of 350 miles. If you go farther than that, we are start losing money. I mean, we are not going to be competitive. For that reason, we have several sites in order to serve different parts of the countries, of the nation. In Europe, we have in 12 states, as you see. Our headquarters is in Tuscany, not far from Florence, between Florence and Pisa, while our U.S. headquarters is not far from Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania. This is the growth of sales during the last 12 years. As you may see, our revenue, they have almost, actually, if we take it from 2014, our turnover has doubled, from 1.6 to 3.2 billion. These are still euros, so you have to add more or less a 10%. With important growth, especially in the last 3, and 2025 is going to be a really important thing, growth for the thing that I said before. U.S. in 2024 represented 34% of our total revenue. This year is going to be 48, 49. So that it was, we declared 10 years ago that we would like Europe and U.S. approximately at the same level. So we have reached this goal probably even some years in advance. As you see, Italy is not even the second country, is third after UK, where we have important market shares. We are the 5th largest producer worldwide. We are number 4 in US. In US after Georgia Pacific, you may know them with the brand Sparkle, Quicker Northern. Kimberly-Clark, the brand name Scott or Cottonelle, and P&G Procter & Gamble, that is a market leader with their brands Bounty, Charmin, Puffs. Worldwide, we are number 5 after a Swedish company, Essity, that they are also here in the state. APP, that is also here in the state. Asia Pulp and Paper is an Indonesian Chinese company. KC Kimberly-Clark, Georgia Pacific, and then Sofidel. Even with the last acquisition that eventually we are going to make, we are going to remain number 5. Still, we are going to remain number 4 in US. This is the total number of employees with the latest acquisition in 2024. I mean, that was the Duluth and the Clearwater site. We have increased our total number in US by in the range of almost 2,000 people. So a very large growth that we had in 2024. In this industry specific, we are pretty well known by three main areas. I mean, the quality of our assets, that in general they are big and they are very new compared to any other competitor of ours. The second one is our geographical coverage. Since our product, I was saying before, is very light in weight, very bulky, is very important to be competitive long term, to be close to customers. And as you saw on the map of where we are, and it will be nice eventually clear if you were seeing where our competitors are, that they are not covering, for example, US as well as today we are covering. That is guaranteeing us, let's say, a long-term competitive advantage. And the third one, the engagement that Sofidel has toward sustainability. Now, here we are starting to invest also significantly in order to decrease our environmental impact, decreasing the amount, especially the amount of water from one side that we are consuming on this side, but also the amount of thermal energy that we are using on this side, and the electrical optimization that we have to do in order to decrease our environmental impact. And there are several important investments that we have to do. One thing that I didn't say that probably can confuse a little bit our process, I mean the tissue production process, is composed of two sides. One side, that is the first part of the project, is that we start from raw materials like pulp or recycled paper, and we are producing jumbo reels. That is what we are doing at the moment. And then we have a second process, which we take these jumbo reels and convert it into finished products. So the real toilet roll, kitchen towel roll, napkin, and this is what we are gonna install over here. This is what the second part is. What yes, is where also most of the people are involved. I mean, today, to produce 60,000 tons, or if they are imperial, 65,000 tons that we are producing here, we are 80 people. We have to add 140 people, more or less, 160 people, more or less, to convert this jumbo reel into finished product. So the second, I mean, today we are, let's say, here to start this new investment that is going to add quite a lot of jobs, but still for the same total quantity. The semi-finished product that we are producing today is going to be converted into final product. We start to invest in US in 2012, so not very many years ago, 13 years ago. We started with an acquisition in Florida, and then little by little, we have, it's actually not so little by little, because the investments have been really very high, and the resources that we have dedicated, human resources, but also economical, financial resources that we have dedicated to the US has been very, very important. We grew through some acquisitions, but also with some greenfield operation, especially one in Ohio and the other one in Oklahoma. The Ohio one especially, that was a very important greenfield operation, was in the range of $550 million, and today is under expansion. So we are investing there another $300 million. So last year, I was telling you before, 2024 has been, the most important year for Sofidel due to these two acquisitions that we made. In February, the Duluth one, and in November with the acquisition of 4 sites in Las Vegas, in Shelby, North Carolina, Lewiston in Idaho, and Elwood in Illinois. We arrived here last February in 2024, and we really like the area, the place, the site, as before the mayor was saying, is a very important area, a strategic area to serve the Midwest of the U.S. with all the logistics. I mean, there are railways that is close to the site, and we wish one day that we could use it. Again, there is gas, there is water, there is enough electricity and space to grow. Before, when I said that this is just to start, because at the end what we are going to build here is the light brown building is what it exists. So we are here in the offices. We are going to build this building here, where is going to be the converting machines. So jumbo reels that are coming from this machine are going to be converted into finished product, and then send it to this automatic warehouse. This is going to be a very tall building. I don't remember how many feet. Say 150 feet. I know in meters, but still in feet, it's some problems. It is going to be something like $20 million that is going to be invested, and we are going to build in the range of 600 square feet with all machines in order that is going to be needed to convert 60,000 tons into finished product. The project is going to, the first machines that is going to start in that building is going to start in the first quarter 2026, and it should be completed. The old design should be completed in third quarter 2026. And then who knows? I mean, there is space for expansion. The buildings there are built in order to accommodate already future expansion. Our engagement really is very strong. We are just dedicated to tissue. We believe in tissue, and we are going to continue to invest. Now, I believe I already took too much time, and I don't know if you have any questions. Otherwise, we can go to the ground floor. And for those that eventually would like to see and visit the company in the way back, but probably I'll leave Gary giving instruction. I mean, you are very welcome to see anything that you would like to see of the site. Gary, sorry.
Luigi, thank you. That's exciting.
All right, the next thing we're going to do is head out to the groundbreaking area. We're gonna take a tour on the way back from that area. I was just informed. So the first step is we're gonna walk through the plant, just some housekeeping